Good morning. It's so nice to see everybody this morning. We're ready for a nice, bright, sunshiny day, right? Welcome to Unity of Winston Salem. It's so good to see everybody. Do we have some visitors today? Got one here and a couple here. JP, he hasn't been here for a while either. So we're glad to see you back also. We're so glad to have you with us. And if you do not have a home church, we would love for you to consider our church. We are a praying church and we have a little box out in the narthex, and you can fill out a little slip out there, and Elizabeth will pray over it if you have a need for a week. And then it will be sent on to Silent Unity, where it will be prayed over for 30 days. So also, if any of the members have any old daily words at home, would you please bring them in and we can use them to fill visitor packets. Would everybody stand for the affirmation of oneness? The Christ in me greets the Christ in you, and we work together for the glory of God.
Welcome, all of you. A lot of our people, I'm sure, are off for the weekend. And I've been waiting for this day. I promise you, I really have. I go with just what comes out. But I was gone last week or week before, whenever. I'm losing track of time. It shifts for me so much here lately, and I'm sure it is for all of you. Unless these days would be shortened, there would no flesh be left, or something to that nature. But the days are being shortened. We are moving through this process in the last few years, and the times to come is going really fast. So we're going to learn our lessons. And it's not about somebody else out there. It's about us. We're learning about ourselves right now. It's all about you. It's all about you. It's all about you discovering what's in you. And I was getting to the place of looking at myself and getting so heavy and so burdened down with what's going on in the outer world. I recognize I have to be aware of what's going on in the inner world. I'd been vacillating. We all have in the past couple of years. I feel like I'm speaking for you too. So in taking some time off, it helped me go inside even deeper. And I recognized that I was carrying a load on me I didn't need to carry. The past 2 years have not been easy for any churches, businesses. COVID came and things were shut down. And we were getting to the place that I wondered if it was time to let the church, what do we do? You know, these seats used to be filled and overflowing. And we've been having maybe sometimes 8 people, sometimes 12, some 14, some 30 some. And then today, Spirit said, I'll bring them in. And I was thinking it was the ones that had left, that had gone away. But look at the new faces that's here. You don't know it, but most of you are, you know if you're new. God brought you here. You didn't come here by chance. And I know there's more people out there because these people are telling me that's where they found us. So there's more of us out there. And it's not about a religious order. It's about the Spirit beginning to be manifest in each and every one of us. And I've recognized I had to let go this week. I didn't realize I was hanging on, trying to make something work, trying to make these doors being open, wanting and desiring people to come and desiring for God to use each and every one of us to bless each other, that we can receive what we each individually need to receive for our soul. But then I was hearing, let go and let God. Let go and let God. It's not my job to worry who comes in and who doesn't come in. It's not my job to ever worry about who leaves and never comes back. Everybody is going where they need to go to be nurtured in the way they need to be nurtured. People don't seem to understand me sometimes. It's like I believe in unity, and not a word, not a church unity. Unity of the universe, unity of people. Because when we meet each other, we all have something to offer. You have something for me. I have something for you. We're pieces of a puzzle. And we're standing in a place right now where the pieces are going to come together if we have that open heart. And we begin to come from the heart space instead of the head space. Notice when you meet someone, so often your head begins to project who they are, what they are. I bet they want this. I bet da. Closes your heart off, doesn't it? It's time now that Holy Spirit has always been here. The whole Spirit of the divine. What's wanting to come out of my mouth right now is we've been lied to, folks. We've been lied to for ages and ages and ages and ages. I even had been questioning, was I in the right place? Because I recognized religion religion was created to control you and to control me. Why would I say that? Because fear controls the masses. Fear controls the masses. Be afraid of God. Be afraid of a system. Be afraid of whatever. And in that fear, you cannot be who you are. You can have a master teacher or a guide or someone that you look to that you feel that spiritual essence. I would think that everybody here has someone they look to, whether it's Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, Mary, a saint, that you look for guidance. And what has happened with the masses over the time, Babylon, what was Babylon? If you are a Christian and you read the Bible, to me, the Bible is an evolutionary process of the soul. You can take any of the characters that you're drawn to and look at them, and you can see them evolving. So the Bible and ancient teachings are there for us to see the evolutionary process in us and work with it and let it work with us. And the mistakes that we make, or the thing we call sin, in controlling you, to say that you're sinners means you have to repent and cry and get down on your knees, despise yourself, even beat yourself up. Ancient things, we take these leather things with spikes on them or whatever and sit and beat ourselves for all the things we've done. That's not what we're here to do. Don't beat yourself up. Guess what? You make a mistake. You know what sin is? Sin is missing the mark. Missing the mark. It's an archery term. I sinned. I missed the mark. I don't beat myself up off missing that mark. Just do it again until I hit the place that I want to hit. So why is this word sin in the Bible? For one thing, when you use that word, it's saying you just missed the mark. What mark? Of the high calling. What high calling? Of the divine in you being expressed through you as you. Are you with me? The letting go that I guess I'm talking about today, and I had all this stuff I was going to say in the scriptures, but Spirit's just leading this way. But that high calling is calling all of us. We're literally sons and daughters of God. Your son, your daughter of God, of the divine, whether you know it or not. Oh, but you don't know my background, Elizabeth. You don't know what I've done. Guess what? Haven't we all sometimes? I'll drop another little nugget on you. Being raised in the traditional Christian church as a child, in my early teens and all that, if I said anything about reincarnation, oh my gosh, that was of the devil. If I talked about meditation, oh, that's evil. I could pray all I wanted to pray. But that's me running my mouth to that divine source of however I see it. But to meditating is to be still and to begin to know. Know what? The I am in you is God. So far away from our consciousness for most of human beings. But do you not know that without that source of divinity in you, you could not, as Paul says in the Bible, you could not live. You could not move. You could not have your being. For God is the very breath you breathe. It's the source of who you are. And it's time that we discovered this. Because we're standing in the age of transformation, folks. What's the age of transformation? It's not about burning down buildings. It's not about hurting each other. It's not about robbing and looting. It's about knowing what you are inside of yourself and then being transformed to a new form. No, I don't see you putting on angel wings right now. But that's not what it's about either. Maybe we think of the angel wings that are we going higher in frequency, higher in knowledge. But the transformation was taught in the New Testament. Be ye transformed. Be transformed. How? How am I going to be transformed? By the renewing of your mind. It's all up here, folks. I'm getting this tap on my shoulder. Tell the truth, it's all in here. It's all in here. It's all about love. No, it's not that kind of love, folks. It's the love from your heart. It's the love from your heart. In the 60s, this energy was beginning to come in, and we called it the Age of Aquarius. You remember that song, The Age of Aquarius, where all the lining up of the planets and this, that, and the other, the moon and the Mars and all this. And when that happens, love comes, you know. And that's when the hippies were around back in the 60s. That's when lots of drugs and lots of other things were happening. Because as you feel the love, you think it's sexual. When you're first beginning to be attracted to each other. And you want to get that high, maybe. But that's a false high. That's a false love. But now we're beginning to understand that that higher love is loving each other from our heart, from our very beingness. And it doesn't matter. You know, you love with the love that's physical. You become family. You become friends. You become somebody that you for each other and serve each other. And I'll take it into a bigger thing than just in here. It's that we meet people and we're working together. That new heaven and new earth is to be right here, right where we are. You are the earthen vessels. You are the place where God shows up. And Eddie Watkins, music comes to my mind. You are the place that God shows up. You are. Some people don't know what goodness is. They've lived in a family setting where they've been abused all their life. And for someone to be there in love and peace, and I'm hearing non-judgment. Non-judgment. Doesn't matter to me what you've done, who you think you are. All that, everything we walk through is to help us. When we say it's negative, look what all the things I've done. God couldn't love me. The divine loves you no matter what. You walk through these places to find out that's not truly who you are. I'm hearing in the background a song, "The joy of the Lord is my strength." The joy of the Lord is my strength. That strength of joy, when you begin to, I'm hearing the song keep going, living waters, he gives me living waters and I thirst no more. When that energy begins to flow through you, that joy is greater than anything you've ever done, anything you've ever felt. You begin to find peace even in the valley. Yea, though I walk through the valleys of the shadows of death, I will fear no evil. Why? Because God is with you. I will never leave you nor forsake you. It's what the divine is saying to every single one of you. At that, I'm bringing in something I experienced this week, whenever it was. I met a new couple. I was down visiting with a friend down at the beach, and some friends came over, and they said that their daughter had been going through horrible things for the past 3 years. Her husband had taken the children away, and you know how law stuff is, you can't get them back and all different things. And when she got them, she could only have one at a time. She couldn't have both of her children. Other things were happening. And she delivered, I guess for UPS or something, but she had to use her own car. This is out in Texas, and dusty roads, long and flat. So she was traveling out, delivering the mail, and her route was 200 miles. I don't know how you go 200 miles in a day and delivering. Well, anyway, that was it. They were telling me, and her car broke down. She was crying and carrying on, and she called her manager and told her, and she came and got her, and somebody else delivered the packages. But she was out of work for a couple of days, and one of the other postmen or the deliverers called her, and he said, I know you need some more work. He said, how about taking my time tomorrow for me? She said, but I don't have a car. My car's still broken. He said, you can drive mine. Hallelujah. A prayer's been answered. So she gets the car, she's out delivering. And so she's going down this dusty road, and the house she's supposed to deliver a package to is way, way, way out in this little drive that's dusty through it. Looked like it was a cornfield, and the corn is all cut down. And she sees that little speck of a house. So here she's driving down that dusty road. She almost gets to the house when bloop, 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 the tire's flat. She gets out and looks at the car. It's flat. What's she going to do? There's nobody around, and she doubts that anybody's at home at that time of the day. Now she's raised in a very Christian family, but she starts yelling and screaming and crying and cursing God. Why have you done this to me? Why is everything in my life falling apart? Why is it I get to work today and now the tire, if I keep going, the rim's going to be ruined, and I don't have money to cover his stuff. This man was generous enough to let me have that. And she screamed, and I'm sure she said a few more words to God, because you know God's always to blame if something goes wrong. Why did God do it to me? Why am I sick? Look what God's done. That's a whole nother story. God never did anything to you. We can get on that sometime. And with that, she picked up the package. Well, I'm going to deliver it anyway. She walked to the house. She came back, and she saw an elderly gentleman. He was like he came from nowhere. Where's his car? Where'd he come from? He was walking towards her from the back of her car, and he squatted down, and he had a small generator or something, and he was blowing her tire up. He said, I see you need a little help. She said, yeah, I'm so grateful you're here. And they talked a little while he fixed the tire. And she walked over to him to shake his hand and say, thank you so much. And she said he stood up. He was just in overalls and a check, just a long sleeve shirt, had a cap on, and he had a beard. When he looked up, he looked in her eyes, and she said they were the most gorgeous eyes she had ever seen. And he said, I've been watching over you. I've been watching. And I want you to know, and he used the same words I did before, I'm always here for you. I will never leave you nor forsake you. She said she was shocked. She started to walk on the other side of the car, and she bowed her head and thought, oh God, thank you so much for this man and this help. And she looked up, and he wasn't there. She walked back around to see if he was picking up something off the ground, and there was nobody there. Nobody there. There are angels among us, folks. And I know the masters are here too. They're masters. You are never by yourself. Think of those close calls you've had. That you have an opportunity to be taken off this planet, but you're here. You're here. You're here. You know why you're here? You didn't come here by chance. You were led by the Master's hand. And I'm feeling it for here. This place is not they're saying it is a special place too. Start saying it's not a special place. A church is a building. But you are the church. You are the temple of the living God. That's what Jesus said. Do you know not? Don't you know? You're so educated. He was telling Nicodemus, but he was talking about being born again. He's talking about being born in higher consciousness. Do you not know that you are the temple of God? God dwells in you. You are where God lives. You are here so God will show up. Dun, 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 dun. No, not like that. In your caring words, in your non-judgment, of your reaching out, just being there for somebody. And when that love starts flowing, guess what? You can be in a room and not say a word. The energy from you just comes forth. Didn't Jesus tell us you are the light of the world? You, each and every one of you, are the lights in the world. And it's not a light like you have to see the energy field or the aura around you, but it's a frequency you give off. Haven't you been around people that when you get around them, you want to do this? You want to close off. It's not someone you feel like you can connect with. And then there's other people. You find yourself relaxed and open. You want to get to know them. You want to be close to them. Well, as your light shines more and more, you're one of those people. Got a tap on my shoulder. Unless there's somebody around that backs away because they're afraid, they don't know what's happening. They're afraid of your light. Light brings the darkness to understanding. It brings those hurt places within you into where you start knowing why they're there. And nothing has ever happened to you, no matter how bad it is, that it wasn't there except for a lesson or to help transform. One of the greatest lessons that we have to learn on planet Earth is forgiveness. Wow. Forgiveness. Jesus hung on the cross. I'm not taking you to shame and grief, folks, and guilt. He came to be the example for others to follow. To have to die on a cross. This is the cross. You are a cross. I die daily, Paul said. I die to those things in me that no longer serve me. I die. I die daily. Jesus was that symbology for all humanity, if they like or don't like, but it's a process of who we are. It's coming to the place that no matter what you need to give up, that's standing in the way of you and your spiritual self, your true self, you're willing to die to it. Not die physically, but let it go. Let go and let God. Let go and let God. Let go of the past, because the blessing that each and every one of us on this planet have right now is we have this moment. We have this moment right here, right now. Right here, right now. This is what we have. And it's for us to enjoy this moment right here, right now. And I can hear all the things of why you're not enjoying the right here, right now. But you know what? Everything that would truly make you happy is inside of you. It came in with you as that little infant. But you had to experience stuff that you were not. But why did this happen to me, that happened to me, and the other thing happened to me? Well, if you ever take a look at what I wasn't supposed to take a look at, is reincarnation. It makes sense. Life is eternal. The teachings of the Master Jesus, eternal life. Eternal life. The evolutionary process of life of who you are, the soul of who you are, is eternal. You leave the past behind, you come in. His teaching also was, you reap what you sow. You reap what you sow. I can't plant apple seeds and expect to have a cherry tree come up. I can't give out hate and bitterness and anger and strife and expect to receive love and peace and joy and happiness. I can't rob and cheat and steal from you and expect that I'm supposed to have all these blessings, material blessings. Am I making sense? We create our world. Guess what? You were given that. You are creator beings. You're of the very source that gave you life. God is the creator of all universes. And it's not some big man with a big beard in the sky. That's what you've been taught. Because there are big men and big beings. Okay, I'll finish my sentence. I'm trying to stop myself. There are big men and big beings in the sky that like to project their self at God, and they have shown up in the Old Testament and a long time before. If you can name it, give it a name. Hate to tell you, folks, this is my seeing. It doesn't have to be yours. So whatever I say, take it with a grain of salt. See what it feels like to you. Because whatever you believe, I'm not going to judge you. But I have to speak what's wanting to come out of me. If you can call it a name, it's not the divine of all things. That's a hard pill to swallow, I just felt. They can be divine masters. They can be beings of other dimensions. And you're going to find out, I want to say starting today and from now on, you're going to recognize we are multi-dimensional beings. And we got ourselves down to like this. We've been so programmed. We think we're little worms. Well, guess what? Us little caterpillars, we're going to turn into the butterflies. That's transformation. And I'm not talking about having wings. We're going to come out of our cocoon. We're coming out of that spaces that we have been bound for ages upon ages upon ages. And you came in this lifetime. This lifetime, you're here to be set free. You're here to be set free. You're here to find out what your gift is to the world. And you have a gift in this world to give. Don't tell me you're to this or to that or not this or not that. My gosh, it's not coming from up here. It's coming from in here. And all that you ever will be, all you ever create comes from within you. You've been looking out there for wealth. You've been looking out there for fame. You've been looking out there for whatever you think your needs are. Guess what, folks? You're looking in the wrong place. They can teach you all kinds of things, but until you go in here and find out the love in you has everything you'll ever need, everything you'll ever desire, you're missing that mark. You're missing that mark, because only the Christ, the God, the power that is unseen can be felt, and it works with you every day of your life. Every time you think a thing, the energy begins to form that thing. What you've been doing is slow down. You've been working backwards. You want your check, your balance in your bank to have more money there. And guess what you do? You project poverty. You want that relationship, but yet you see a relationship that doesn't work. You want peace, yet you keep seeing fear and anger and strife. The creative energy that you have as a creator is the projection of what you desire. But when it comes to you, watch what you desire. Is it the things of the world or the things of spirit? Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all these things will be added unto you. All things. For your little can be so much. When you start working in that peace and that love and the joy and appreciation, because then you become a magnet to attract your good. Because all that you're doing or all that you reach for, is it for selfishness and selfish gain? Or is it so you can share your spiritual blessings with others? And when you're living on purpose, your purpose for being here, when you discover that, and I dare say, I believe everyone within the next year or two, you're going to know what your purpose in life is. And when you begin to live that, you'll have information that you will share with others, or a skill that you will share with others. And your work will never be work, because you'll be doing what you love to do. And when you're doing what you love to do, you are giving that, whatever it is, out to humanity. And guess what? The gift that you have to give from your soul is priceless. It's priceless. But you will receive in the manner that you give. You will receive in the manner that you give. Seek, that's what is it within you? Well, how do I find out about it? Be still and know. What was your dream as a child? What was it that you really wanted to do? What was it that you desired to become? 9 out of 10, if you go back to that, that will be it. My uncle had a little store across the road, little country store. We lived in the city. I'll call it the country store, community store. And I'd get the crates from the Coca-Colas or Pepsis, and I'd make me a little platform, and I'd get up there. I was a preacher because I found out my mom and daddy, the hellfire brimstone wasn't quite right for me. But I couldn't let them know, or I would have a little of it too. My bottom would be on fire. But I knew the man called Jesus was my friend as a little girl. And I asked him one day, I said, I don't like my mom and daddy's God. In my head, there was more than one God, because, you know, they had some God that burns you in hell. And all these, he gives you gifts if you're good, but he punishes you if you're not. So it's like, how many gods are there? In my mind, or in my heart, he laughed and he said, how many people are there? I'm like, oh my gosh, that many gods. He said, no, there's only one creator life force that created all things, that all things came from. But each individual makes God in their image, in their likeness, whatever they think God is. And I recognize our parents, our grandparents, the ancient people that came to this planet, they embedded fear in us so we would be controlled. And right now on this planet, the dark and the light is coming together, the yin and the yang. Energy is just energy. It's just energy. How do you want to use the energy? Energy can be transformed. This is where we're standing, and this is where we're going to learn during these next years. But we'll have each other to share with and not be afraid as we grow in this awareness of this. So this energy is to be taken to a higher space to where it dances in that harmony and that beauty. So what we're doing is transforming the energy in us, bringing it into light, and to see the dark places in us and understand why we're working in those places. And 9 out of 10 is because we're walking through a place of purifying karma. Karma is the reaping what you sow. And it can be on many different levels, but we're balancing that out. So why did things happen so bad in my life, this lifetime? Evidently, I was a son of gun in some other lifetime. It doesn't mean I'm going to reap everything this lifetime, and I hope I'm about through with all this mess. But, you know, it can be hard. If you've raped people in the past with the intention of harming or sexual desires, guess what? Something may just happen to you too, whether this lifetime or another lifetime. But that used to be when somebody came in and took over a country or people, all kinds of things happened just to show authority. And there's all kinds of dimensions of what it is, of what we're doing, but there's all this good stuff too. And then we get into drugs, and we get into alcohol, and we get into sexual addiction. We get into all kinds of things. To what? To cover the pain. We think it's covering the pain. Oh, it's making that wound deeper and deeper and deeper. Because deep inside, you know that's not who you are. You can get high off of life, folks. You can be so much in joy and peace. Just to begin to appreciate that this day, no matter what's going on in the world, here we are together. And I wished I'd have brought enough stuff to have a picnic. We could have had a picnic and fellowshipped and had a good time. And whatever's going on in that outer world, we don't even have to be connected to it. Jesus said to be in the world, but not of it. Be in it, but not of it. You are going to experiment and understand and learn as Spirit begins to lead you and guide you. You can be in any situation and still be at peace. That's a big one too. Take the eye of a storm, the tornado swirling around you. Go into the eye, and you know what? It's quiet. It's a vortex. It's just around. And on the outside, chaos. The symbol of Jesus walking on water. Water can represent the emotional body. I'm not going to sing it. I got a little song years ago, and I'm not a singer. I don't like to do that. But the words go, come and I was seeing Jesus on the waters that had been troubling. And that's our life, all that stuff that's out there that wants to take us down in emotions. And we get drowned sometimes in our emotional energy of all these things going on. It was like he's holding out his hand. He said, come and walk on the waters of this troublesome time, the troublesome time you're in right now, come and walk over the emotions. Do you know you can rise above those emotional feelings that you have? You really can when you look to a higher perspective of it. Keep your eyes on that Christ consciousness, that knowing that somebody is with you that will never leave you, never forsake you, won't let you go down in the depths and be destroyed. That presence is right there with you. Come and walk on the water with me. I'm not talking about literal water. Don't go out there and try to walk on any water, folks. But it's talking about the emotional. In Revelation, it's always talking about they that overcome will sit on the throne with Christ or something like that, you know. But it's overcoming what? Overcoming those things in me that feel wrong when I do it. It just doesn't feel right for my soul. That power is within you to overcome all things. The wisdom. There are 12, I'm seeing this sleeping giant in each of us. There's a sleeping giant that's about to wake in all of us. It may take lifetimes for some of us, but it's coming about. And we will see the manifestation of the sons and daughters of God in their fullness here on earth. I believe in your generation, if you're here living. And hopefully we all are one of those. But that sleeping giant is what's in you. And it's a gift of the divine presence of who you are. It's love, wisdom, power, faith, strength, zeal, imagination, order, will, elimination, understanding, and life itself. The sleeping giant awakens in us, or awakens in me, and I'm open, unlimited, and free. And so are you. We have to have that faith activated of believing that all that I need, I already have. I just need to manifest it. And those manifesting qualities, you'll begin to understand more and more as you begin to be still and allow the Spirit that Jesus said would come to lead you and guide you into all truth. Don't believe everything you hear and everything you say. Even I'm standing up here today talking, but I'm sharing with you. I'm not your guru. The guru is in you. That will lead you and guide you. It's wonderful to come together. And you don't know how good you made me feel today. Each of you have been a blessing to my soul. You truly, truly have. Because I feel like you came here because you wanted to come here. Most of you did. You came here because you wanted to be here, not because somebody demanded you to be here, not because somebody told you something bad was going to happen to you if you didn't come. That makes a difference. So I hope to see you. Hope to see you every week, during the week, during times, so we can come together in unity, not the unity church. You are the church, but in unity, respecting each other, no matter what your walk of life is, what your belief or non-belief, that we're here to love God, love source if you want, or whatever, or not, and to care for each other. So thank you, each and every one of you, for choosing to come into my life today. Each and every one of you. Because you are in my heart now. You are a part of me. And my blessings will always be a part of you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So in the thought of letting go, Do you have something back there by my friend? I'm walking away. And when he sings this, he was in drugs and alcohol. He became years back, he was a #1 singer. People knew him, Eddie Watkins. If you want to look him up, you young people probably wouldn't know him. But he's this beautiful fella that he would make gobs of money, and then he'd go out and party so much. And he said half the time he started finding himself pulled in some alley somewhere in his car, passed out. And he'd wake up and think, what am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? But then when he just started experiencing something moving inside of himself and something saying, I'm here for you to overcome this. When he held on to that energy, he began to transform. So he wrote this song, and he's written many, many other songs. It just blessed my heart to the core. I love to sit and listen to him sing. I met him a few years back, and he's an amazing man. But he sings about, I'm walking away from the pain that held me for so long. Today is a day I walk away. But he was talking more, not only the physical world out there, but he's walking away from those things in religious orders that he was told he had to believe. A God that is a punishing God, a God that is an angry God, a God that doesn't want to take you in its embrace and hold you and love you. It's its very own essence, of which it does. So if you will, just kind of sit with me for a moment as we listen to Eddie sing, I'm walking away. Can you do that for me? Thank you, God. Thank you, God, for this day.
Every morning, the light keeps getting brighter as I wake up to the truth.
Waking up to the truth.
And every day, I'm feeling so much lighter, and the world seems fresh and new. What I was taught and the way that I thought stopped serving me long ago. Now I'm learning to trust in the God of all of us. Each day I start anew, and so I'm walking away from the thinking that held me for so long. Today is the day I walk away. I'm walking away from the path that led me to confusion. Today is the day I walk away. I'm walking away from the thinking that held me for so long. Today is the day I walk away. I'm walking away from the path that led me to such sadness. Today is the day I walk away. Every day I walk away. Every morning brings a new beginning. By grace another day to be. I awaken to the sun upon me shining, lighting the way for me to see. Oh, things that I sought and the way that I thought stopped serving me long ago. Now I'm learning to trust in the God of all of us. Of yesterday I'm letting go. I'm walking away from the thinking that held me for so long. Today is the day I walk away. I'm walking away from the path that led me to confusion. Today is the day I walk away. I'm walking away from the less than that held me for so long. Today is the day I walk away. I'm walking away from the path that led me to such sadness. Today is the day I walk away. Every day I walk away. Today is the day I walk away.
I hope you can walk away. And there's somebody here that feels like I cannot walk away from what I'm in right now. It's almost to feel that they'll die if you walk away from that. You won't do it. But when you make that choice to walk away from something, there will be a strength there this time. I want to release, and the past is the past. Now I ask myself, why does the past come up to me when I'm in front of someone? But I've literally had a gun held to my head before. I've been told if I walk away, I'll be murdered. My children will be murdered. I waited 20-some years to walk away. But look where it took me. Look where it took me. I'm here with you today. I'm here with you today. When something deep in your soul is calling to you to walk away from the past, and you feel like you can't make it without that past, life changes when you trust God. It changes. You don't have to hold on to things. I had things I could hold on to, material things, and I stepped out with nothing. And then my dreams came true of meeting people like you. And I want to see you be the best of the best of the best that you can be. And I will give you my energy if you will receive it. I give you my energy. You can call it your own, to be with your energy, to find your strength and to find your power, knowing somebody doesn't judge you and somebody loves you. And then you will be that person, because it's already in you. It's already in each of us to help someone else. And it's not that we have to get in a pulpit. It's not that we pass out tracts. It's in our everyday life. Some people will never see or have not seen the Christ in anyone before. And when I was little, I wondered about that. I would never say I was a Christian. Never would I say I was a Christian when I was young. Because for some reason, I knew a Christed being. When I was little, I could see energy fields really well. And somebody I could see, and you're just glowing just like you are today. And I knew that they were a being of light. So if they asked me, I'd say, oh, I go to Brightwood Baptist Church. Oh, yes, you're a good girl. You're a good girl. But it's not about professing anything. It's about being it, being love, being peace. You are the example for others to follow. You are the example. What kind of example are you being today? For your friends, for your family? You are the light right where you are every moment. As Jesus said, don't hide your light. Just be the light. Just be the love. Just be the peace. When you're holding peace, others can feel it. When you're holding love, others can feel it. We're vibrational beings, but we don't seem to know it. So thank you for the love and the peace that you are today. I'm sure. Do you want to go ahead and do you want to play something before we take up the offering? Just relax and listen to what he has to play for us. That was beautiful, beautiful. For those that are new, I'd like to share, we have daily words in the bookstore. And so often I just pick one up and I just turn to a page and see what's there. Well, I had one in my Bible. This is not today's daily word. And you see, we can pretend it's real short. So, it is. But this is for July 2019. And I'd like you to just close your eyes and just relax. And maybe these words may be your very own words of how you're feeling. I let go and I let God. I am inspired by someone who spoke these words in the 14th century, Master Eckhart, who was a German monk and a philosopher, who said, "Let God be God in you." Let God be God in you. As I become still today, I recognize I may be holding on to events or hurts of the past that I have not forgotten or not forgiven. But through spiritual understanding, I know I am the only one who is hurting by this bitterness and by this resentment that I carry. So I gently let go and let God. I know I am never separated from the infinite, but when I consciously let go and be God in me, I begin to think and act from my divine nature. I see with eyes of love. I then see with eyes of compassion. I see good in myself. I see good in my affairs, and I see good in the world. Letting go frees me to express my divine nature. In Proverbs 16:9, it reads, "The human mind plans the way, but the Lord directs the steps." Our loving Creator, I give so much thanks for this magnificent day that you've brought to each and every one of us. May you lead and guide each one in that path of wisdom and knowledge. May we be that we came to be, that light in the world. Lead us and guide us into all truth as we give thanks. In and through the name and the power of the living Christ. Amen. Amen. Do you want to play something? You want to play right here, right now, as the ushers come? Or when they... So if this has blessed you in any way and you'd like to leave a financial blessing, to keep the doors open. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I give and all that I receive. I am grateful. hope this has been a blessing to you. Usually I don't hold this long. But let's bless this. I give thanks for this visible evidence of the bounty of God. I send it forth with love and joy to do its perfect work. Usually we sing the peace song before we leave. Do you want to sing the peace song? Okay. Do you want to hold hands to sing it? Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll just stand here. I'm going to go back to the back. I want to tell you all about when you leave, if you don't mind standing around. This is wonderful. Get behind Tony. Tony's my husband. He's filming. And we can just make a big circle here as we connect. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. If you don't know it, I think they're putting it up on the screen.